Hi there BookTube, it's Eleanor here and today I'm doing a book haul. Recently I went on a little trip up to London with my friend Kaitlin from the channel Kitty G, and we decided we were going to use my Book Lovers London guide that I got as a secret Santa gift for Christmas to discover a couple of new bookshops that we don't normally go to. Normally when we go up there we tend to go to a second-hand shop called Scoob, which is books backwards, and we go to Foyles and Forbidden Planet and Gosh Comics, and this time we just wanted to discover a few more. So the thing I love about this book is there tends to be a cluster of areas where there's quite a lot of bookshops, and at the front here they give you a map of 2 or 3 different areas which are the main areas, and as you can see there's a list of bookshops. So I went through the bookshops that were in those lists and had a look for bookshops I thought might appeal to myself and Kaitlin. Kaitlin predominantly reads science fiction and fantasy, and I read quite a wide range, but I was really interested in finding second-hand books because of budgetary constraints, and also a couple of graphic novels that I've been looking for a while. So this was brilliant. Apart from the usual haunts, which we also went to, we discovered 2 new shops, a comic book shop and a second-hand bookshop, which really did produce some gems. And so let's talk about the books that I picked up. So the new comic book shop that we went to was called Orbital Comics. They have a podcast and they also have a website, which I will link down below. They were brilliant. They had a really wide selection of graphic novels and comics, and they also had a whole separate room which was dedicated to sort of art books and independently published graphic novels and some really quirky, interesting things, which Kaitlin was in her element, and I know that she picked up something from there. So check out her channel for her haul to see what she picked up. However, I picked up 2 comics that I needed the new issues of. I picked up Archie issue 6, which is one that I didn't have, so I need to add that to my collection of Archie comics, which I'm reading by single issue. And then also the latest edition of I Hate Fairyland, although this one's got a rude title, and this is the final issue in this sort of story arc, so I can't wait to get to this. This is by Scotty Young, and well, if you haven't seen this on my channel, then it is brilliant. It's such a fun series, and yeah, it's about a girl. She is a very potty-mouthed girl who's very violent, who's stuck in fairyland because she can't find the key to get out, and it's just brilliant. I really love it, and it's so much fun, so I can't wait to read this one. And then I picked up a bind-up which I'd been wanting to read. I'd seen on someone else's channel and just sounded like fun. And that is Prez Volume 1, Corn Dog in Chief. I really liked the look of the artwork in this. It's definitely my type of artwork. I'll read you the back because it just sounds so much fun. The American people have just elected a new president, Oregon teen Beth Ross, aka Corn Dog Girl. Age restrictions were abolished when corporations gained the right to run for office, and voting booths have been replaced by Twitter, making just about anyone eligible for the nation's top job, including the viral video famous Corn Dog Girl. Now the eyes of the nation are on Beth, but in a world so out of control that the poor are willing to shoot themselves on TV for a chance at a better life, will even the new president have the power needed to overthrow the nation's true leaders, Boss Smiley and his corporate shadow government? Just sounds like fun and very modern and interesting, so I'm looking forward to giving this one a go. And now for the books that I found in the second-hand shop. These were ridiculously cheap. I think I got them all for £10, and some of these aren't even out yet. They're ARCs, so I was so excited, and it was called Any Amount Books, and I loved it. So the first one I picked up is called Recipes for Love and Murder by Sally Andrew, and it says it's a Tanny Maria mystery, and I believe this is the first in a series. This was published in November of 2015, and it just sounds like real fun. It's about a woman who writes a column, I believe for a recipe column for the local paper. She likes cooking and she likes writing, and she gets involved in sleuthing a murder and trying to uncover who's done it, I believe. It says it's a dark, delicious new crime series which blends the #1 ladies detective agency with Inspector Montalbano. So that sounds just like fun. It's something a bit different for me, and I just really loved the cover and liked the premise and thought, yeah, I'm going to give this one a go. The next book I picked up was In the Land of Paper Gods by Rebecca Mackenzie. This book was out in January, I believe, in hardback, but this is an ARC copy, and I believe this is set in 1941 in China. It's on top of a mountain, and it is set in a boarding school for British missionary children. It's about one girl, and she is enlisted into the Prophetess Club at school, and it's set in sort of a war, you know, an imminent war time. And yeah, I just think it sounds quite interesting, and I don't know an awful lot about it. I know that I've seen it on a few people's anticipated reading lists, so I'm looking forward to giving this one a go. The next book I picked up on a little bit of a whim, and it's called Baby Doll by Holly Overton. This isn't out until June this year, so June 2016, but I was just intrigued by the back. It says, for the first time in 8 years, you're free. You've been held captive in one room, mentally and physically abused every day since you were 16 years old. Then one night you realise your captor has left the door to your cell unlocked. This is what happens next. This just sounds intriguing, and I can't wait to give it a go. It really enticed me with that back, and yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. The next book I picked up as soon as I saw it, because I've seen it on my friend Brittany's channel, Under the Radar Books. She received this recently from the publisher, and she told me a bit about it, and I thought, yes, this is for me. And when I saw it, I couldn't believe my luck, and that is My Best Friend's Exorcism by Brady Hendricks. He's the man that wrote Horror Store, which is the sort of horror story that looks like an IKEA catalogue. I don't know if any of you have seen that, but this is about two girls. They've been friends for years. They live in South Carolina. One night they go skinny dipping, and from then on in, one of the girls is different. She's not the same as she was before. This is about friendship and exorcisms and the devil, and it says it's an unholy hybrid of Beaches and The Exorcist, and really that is what got me hooked when I heard about it on Brittany's channel. So I'm really looking forward to seeing if this is any good, because it sounds brilliant, and it's set in the 80s, and I'm a child of the 80s, so I can't wait to find out some of those references too. The next book I picked up was also an art copy, and that is All the Rage by Courtney Summers. This is a YA book. I've heard quite a lot about this, and I was really interested to read it. It was on my wish list, and when I saw it, I thought, yeah, I'm going to pick that one up. This is a story about a girl. She's from the wrong side of the tracks. Something happens with the sheriff's son. He's not the golden boy everybody thinks he is, and no one believes her when she tells them what happens. Her only sort of solace is in a out-of-town diner where she works, and then one day she hears that a girl goes missing from a party, and I think she possibly believes that this sheriff's son is involved in some way, and she needs to make sure that her voice is heard and tell her story, and I believe that this is what this is about. So I'm really intrigued to read this. It says on the back it's for older teenagers and adult readers, so it's probably YA/adult, probably some graphic content, but I'm really intrigued and interested to give this one a go. The next book I'd seen on a couple of people's channels and thought sounded interesting, and again I saw an arc of this, Beautiful Broken Things by Sarah Bernard. This is a YA again, I believe, and it is apparently for fans of We Are Liars and All the Bright Places. I didn't enjoy We Are Liars, but I did like All the Bright Places. It's the story of two girls' friendship and how that changes when another girl comes into the picture, and I'm intrigued to read this one. I don't know an awful lot about it, but I'm going to go into it a bit blind, and I'm excited. And then I picked up a book in Forbidden Planet. This was because Kaitlin mentioned that she had got it recently and that she was going to be reading it, and I read the back and it sounded really interesting, and that is Underground by S.L. Gray. I'll read you the back of this one. It sounds intriguing. It says they're trapped 50 feet down and someone wants them 6 feet under. The sanctum is a luxurious, self-sustaining survival condominium situated underground. It's a plush bolt hole for the rich and paranoid, a place where they can wait out the apocalypse in style. When a devastating superflu virus hits, several families race to reach the sanctum. All have their own motivations for entering, all are hiding secrets. But when the doors lock and someone dies, they realise the greatest threat to their survival may not be above ground. It may already be inside. This just sounds really good, and I know that me and Kaitlin are going to try and read this one together, so I'm excited for that. So that's all the books I bought on my trip up to London. Far too many and more than I planned, but I'm pleased that they didn't cost me an awful lot. I had a really good time, and so what? I bought some books and I'm going to enjoy them, and I had a really wonderful day. So thank you to Kaitlin. If you're watching, I had a lovely time and I really enjoyed book shopping together as always, and thank you to you for watching. Let me know if any of these pique your interest, if you've read any of them, and I look forward to speaking to you soon. Bye for now, BookTube.